जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is 14th of November. It is Kartika Masa, Damodara Masa, Shukla Paksham, and Chaturdashi Tithi. And there are two more events today apart from Kartika Masa and the Bhishma Panchaka. So these two events are one is the disappearance of Shri Bhugarbha Goswami and disappearance of Shri Kashishwara Pandit. So we shall take a few lines from the ISKCON.com about each personality. So Bhugarbha Goswami, as there is not much mention of Sri Lokanath Goswami in the Vaishnava literature. Similarly, there is not much mention either of Sri Bhugarbha Goswami, who was his very close friend. Following Mahaprabhu's order, they both came to live at Brajadam. Their hearts were inseparable. Bhugarbha Goswami was Lokanatha's closest friend and a constant companion. He was Prema Manjari in Vraja, as per the Gauragano Desh Deepika 187. Bhugarbha Purasya Purvakya Prema Manjari. So according to Sadhana Deepika, Bhugarbha was Lokanatha's paternal uncle. So the Shaka Nirnayamrita adds the following comments under Bhugarbha Goswami. Goswaminam cha bhugarbham bhugarbhottamam suvishrutam sada mahashayam vande Krishna prema pradam prabhum Shila Govinda Devasya seva sukha vilasinam Dayalum premadam swacham nityam ananda vigraham. I offer my reverence to the illustrious Bhugarbha Prabhu, who is said to have been born from the bowl of the earth. He bestows a love of Krishna. He takes pleasure in the service of Govinda Deva. He is compassionate, simple, and always joyful. Bhugarbha's Goswami's initiating guru was Gadadhara Pandit Goswami. He is therefore considered to be Gadadhara's branch. Sri Bhagavatadasa, a fellow disciple of Sri Gadadhara Pandit Goswami, was also a close friend. Bhugarbha and Bhagavatadas are branches of Gadadhara Pandit, both of whom went to live in Vrindavan, as per the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 1281. Lokanath Goswami renounced the householder ashrama in 1431 of the Shaka era or 1510 and come to meet Mahaprabhu in the Navadvip. Mahaprabhu immediately told him to go to Vrindavan and live in Vrindavan. Tell him that it was his own intention to take sannyas very shortly and go there himself. Lokanatha started to cry when he imagined the Lord with his beautiful curls shown and the distress the devotees would feel at his departure. When the Lord saw Lokanatha's anxiety, he embraced him and consoled him with various spiritual instructions, and Lokanatha surrendered completely to him. When Bhugarbha saw how unhappy Lokanatha was, he decided to accompany him to Vrindavan. The two companions walked through Rajmahal, Tajpur, Purnia, Lucknow, and many holy places before finally arriving in Vraj. So that is about the Bhugarbha Goswami. And another event is the Kashi Pandit Goswami disappearance day. He had a temple near Sri Rampura Chatara. Mahaprabhu sent him to Vrindavana later on in his life. His disciple was Sri Govinda Gosai, the Pujari of Sri Govinda Deva. When Srila Rupa Goswami discovered Sri Govinda Deva's Sri Vigraha at Gomati Tila, he immediately sent word to Mahaprabhu at Puri. Mahaprabhu in turn requested Sri Kashishwara Pandita to go to Vrindavana. Kashishwara, however, expressed that to have to give up your association will cause my heart to be split in two. Therefore, please consider how I can honor your request without giving up my life. Mahaprabhu could understand the heart of Kashishwara and therefore he gave him a self-manifested deity of himself. Mahaprabhu sat down along with his Vigraha and accepted prasad, at which Kashishwara faith was kindled. Mahaprabhu intimated to him with his deity and established him on the right side of Sri Govinda Deva. Then he began to serve them with great love. Okay, this is from the Gaudiya Vaishnava Viraha Bhajan. There is a song again for this one. Okay, these are the two events. So disappearance day of the Kashishwara Pandita and Bhugarbha Goswami. Okay, that's all from the events perspective. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad-Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, describing the Brahma situation. So after he meditated for thousands of thousand demigod years, so the Lord was very pleased to show his planet, his abode, Vaikuntha planet, which is always desired by the self-realized souls, and that planet is completely free from all kinds of the miseries and also free from the illusion. तस्मै स्वलोकं भगवान् सभाजितः सन्दर्शयामास परं नयत्परं व्यपेत्सं क्लेशि विमोहसाध्वसं स्वदृष्टबुद्धिः पुरुषैरभिष्टुतम्. So in such a way, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, from today onwards, Sukadeva Goswami is going to describe the Vaikuntha planet for next couple of verses, around maybe 10 slokas, something like that. So we would be seeing Vaikuntha through the sound vibrations. So here, Sukadeva Goswami says, so in that Vaikuntha planet, there is no mode of passion or mode of ignorance and also mode of goodness also. It is completely transcendental to these three. It is pure goodness. Pure goodness is beyond the goodness that we see in this material world. That is the pure goodness. Vishuddha Sattvam. And there is no mixture of these material modes of nature. And also, there is no time influence in the Vaikuntha planets. There is no illusion. And and also there is, because of all, no time factor, no illusion, no Maya there, and no three material modes of nature. So because of that, everyone, inclusive of gods and also demons also, they worship Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Vaikuntha planets. In the Vaikuntha planets, either Narayana form or Vishnu forms, the four-headed forms in the Vaikuntha planets. So there, likewise, he is saying, so Suras and Asuras both are worshipping the Lord without any discrimination. Okay, so we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 10. प्रवर्तते यत्र रजस्तमस्तयोः सत्त्वं च मिश्रं न च कालविक्रमः न यत्र माया किमुता परे हरेर् अनुरता यत्र सुर असुर अर्चिताः प्रवर्तते यत्र रजस्तमस्तयोः. Pravartate, the prevailing of yatra in that Vaikuntha planets, Pravartate yatra rajaha tamaha, the modes of passion and ignorance. Rajaha tamaha tayoho, of both of them. And thus also sattvam, the mode of goodness, cha, and also mode of goodness. Mishram, Mishram is the mixture of these three material modes of nature. So in this material world, we see goodness, passion, and ignorance. Sometimes we act as a good, sometimes passion, and sometimes ignorant. So these are all mixed. But there we do not see such kind of mixture. So pravartate yatra rajastamastayoho satvam cha mishram and nacha kala vikramaha, and also na it is there is no nacha kala vikramaha, no influence of the time factor in the Vaikuntha planet. Nacha kala vikramaha nayatra maya kim utapare harer nayatra maya, and also there is no illusory or external energy of the Lord, no maya. And kim uta, and also what there is apare, others also anuvrata yatra sura asurachitaha. These are all of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And anuvrata is the devotees, yatra wherein sura by demigod, by the demigods, asura and the demons, achitaha worshipped. So in that Vaikuntha planets, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is worshipped by his devotees, demigods, and also demons. Anurata yatra sura asura achitaha. They're all aligning to the rules of the Vaikuntha. Even the demons goes there, they do not make any disturbance there. They simply agree to just worship the Lord. And everyone understands. Even demon also knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Narayana in the Vaikuntha. प्रवर्तते यत्र रजस्तमस्तयोः सत्त्वं च मिश्रं न च कालविक्रमः न यत्र माया किम् उतापरेर्हरेर् अनुरता यत्र सुर असुरार्चिताः. Translation for this verse. In that personal abode of the Lord, the material modes of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of their influence in goodness. There is no predominance of the influence of time. So, what to speak of the illusory external energy? It cannot enter that region. Without a discrimination, both the demigods and the demons worship the Lord as devotees. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Radha Sekar Mataji? So that's the Isra allocation as well. Would you like to read the purport? First two paragraphs only. It is long purport if you are available. Okay, if Mataji is not available, can I request Hangma Mataji to read the first two paragraphs, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The kingdom of God, or the atmosphere of the Vaikuntha nature, which is called the Tripath Vibhuri, is 3 times bigger than the material universe and is described here as also in the Bhagavad Gita. In a nutshell, this universe containing billions of stars and planets is one of the billions of such universes clustered together within the compass of the Mahatattva. And all these millions and billions of universes combined together constitute only 1/4 of the magnitude of the whole creation of the Lord. There is the spiritual sky. Also, beyond the sky are the spiritual planets under the names of Vaikuntha, and all of them constitute 3/4 of the entire creation of the Lord. God's creations are always immeasurable. Even the leaves of a tree cannot be counted by a man, nor can the hairs on his head. However, foolish men are puffed up with the idea of becoming God himself, though unable to create a hair of their own bodies. Man may discover so many wonderful vehicles of journey, but even if he reaches the moon by his much advertised spacecraft, he cannot remain there. The same man, therefore, without being puffed up as if he were the god of the universe, abides by the instructions of the Vedic literature, the easiest way to acquire knowledge in transcendence. So let us know through the authority of Srimad-Bhagavatam of the nature and contribution of the transcendental world beyond the material sky. In that day of the in that sky, the material qualities, especially the modes of ignorance and passion, are completely absent. The mode of ignorance influences a living entity to the habit of lust and hankering, and this means that in Vaikuntha Lokas, the living entities are free from these two things. Uh, Thank you, Prabhuji. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Brahma Bhuta stage of life, one becomes free from hankering and lamentation. Therefore, the conclusion is that the inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are all Brahma Bhuta living entities, as distinguished from the mundane creatures who are all compact in hankering and lamentation. When one is not in the modes of ignorance and passion, one is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness in the material world. Goodness in the material world also at times becomes contaminated by touches of the modes of passion and ignorance. In the Vaikuntha Loka, it is unalloyed goodness only. The whole situation there is one of freedom from the illusory manifestation of the external energy. Although illusory energy is also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, illusory energy is differentiated from the Lord. The illusory energy is not, however, false as claimed by the monist philosophers. The rope accepted as a snake may be an illusion to a particular person, but the rope is a fact, and the snake is also a fact. The illusion of water on a hot desert may be illusion for the ignorant animal searching for water in desert, but the desert and water are actual facts. Therefore, the material creation of the Lord may be an illusion to the non-devotee, but to a devotee, even the material creation of the Lord is a fact, as the manifestation of his external energy. But this energy of the Lord is not all. The Lord has his internal energy also, which has another creation known to be the Vaikuntha Lokas, where there is no ignorance, no passion, no illusion, and no past and present. With a poor fund of knowledge, one may be unable to understand the existence of such things as the Vaikuntha atmosphere, but that does not nullify its existence. That spacecraft cannot reach these planets does not mean that there are no such planets, for they are described in the revealed scriptures.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Okay, so that again, two more paragraphs. We shall read that one tomorrow. So here first in the Prabhupada is mentioning the kingdom of God at the atmosphere of Vaikuntha nature. So we have also been covering this one. We have already covered the ninth chapter in the Saturdays morning sessions, and also another Vaikuntha description of the Vaikuntha Loka. So this Vaikuntha nature, which is called a Tripad Vibhuti, is the three parts of the entire creation. And the total spiritual creation is of three parts, and material creation is only one part. Or material creation contains it is innumerable universes within this material world. They are all created from the breathings of the they are coming from bodily pores of the Karunadaksai Vishnu. Yah Karnanavajale Bhajati Smayoga Nidra Mananta Jagadanda Saroma Kopaha Adhara Shakti Maulambya Param Sumurtim Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That Karnadaksai Vishnu, from whose bodily pores so many innumerable universes are coming and inhaling. Yesyekanishvitakaal Matavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda Nadaha. Vishnur Saiha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So that Karnataka Sai Vishnu, in his breathing time, so many universes are coming out. And then in the in the exhale time and inhaling time, they are going inside. So that Karnataka Sai Vishnu, for whom uh, Adharam Avlambi Param Sumurtim, Krishna is the base for that Karnataka Sai Vishnu. Adhar Shaktim. For that Karnataka Vishnu, Krishna is the source. He is the base. And that Karnataka Vishnu is the Kala Vishesha, one of the expansion, 16th expansion of the Krishna. So from all that is constituted of only one part. And that one part is containing billions of stars and planets, is one of the billions of such universes clustered together within the compass of Mahatattva. This is the Mahatattva. Within this Mahatattva, so many universes. They are made up of so many material ingredients. Starting from the three: goodness, passion, and ignorance, three material modes of nature, and then after that 24 elements of Panchabihi Brahma, Chaturbihi Dasabihi Tada, Etat Chaturvimshitakam Ghanam Pradhanikam Vibhuhu. And out of those 24 elements, mind, intelligence, ego, and consciousness, the four subtle elements, and the five jnanendriyas, five karmendriyas, five panchabhotas, five tanmatras. So these are the 24 elements. They're coming from the Mahatattva. And for everything is the Karnodaksa, Vishnu is the source. So all this constitute only 1/4 of the magnitude of the whole creation of the Lord. So there is the spiritual sky also beyond this. So this spiritual sky, it is the separated from this material world through there is a river called Viraja River. So that is the kind of a draw the line between material and the spiritual. So within that spiritual sky, spiritual planets under the names of Vaikunta, and all of them constitute 3/4 of the entire creation of the Lord. And God's creation are always innumerable. And here Prabhupada is mentioning how innumerable it is. Even the leaves of a tree cannot be counted by a man, nor can the hairs on his head. We cannot count all these things because even it is material, though we are seeing every day we are touching everything, the trees and leaves and our hair, but we cannot count on them. However, foolish men are puffed up with the idea of becoming God Himself, though unable to create a hair of their own bodies. It is the man cannot create any single living entity by his own without the spiritual touch. So man may discover so many wonderful vehicles of journey, but even if he reaches the moon by his much advertised spacecraft, he cannot remain there. There also he would need the eating. He needs to eat food, drink water, go through the time factor, and his body will be decayed, and it will be once he dies there. Because if there is, he was created by another living entity. So for if a living entity has got a beginning, he has got an ending as well for the body. Jatasi dhruva mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharadhye natvam sochitum arhasi. Such kind of bodily fall downs, one should not lament for it. And bodily economic development, soothing for bodily comforts, that is not encouraged. One has to concentrate on the spirit spark while it is existing within the human body. So, and also here, the sane man, therefore, without being puffed up, or as if he were the god of the universe, he should not be puffed up. So, abides by the instructions of the Vedic literature. The easiest way to acquire knowledge in transcendence. So, in that way, he will get all these things. So, first is the knowledge, and then detachment from the material things when he is situated in the transcendence. Detachment means he is on the transcendental plane, above the material nature. So let us know through the authority of Srimad-Bhagavatam of the nature and constitution of the transcendental world beyond the material sky. We got all the information in the Srimad-Bhagavatam. It is Amala Puran. It is spotless. But whereas the material people and the scientists, they say today they say one word and tomorrow another statement, another statement. If there is no relation between each and every statements, so but it is never ending. They keep on always speculating. That is the nature of the material scientist. So in that sky, the material qualities, especially the modes of ignorance and passion, are completely absent. How do we perceive this one? So we got information here, but here in order to experiment this one, Vaikuntha Lokas are beyond our experience, but they can be seen here in this material world through the Vaishnava temples. Wherever the Vishnu and Narayana and Krishna are there, these are kind of the manifestations on the earth. Yata, so there is another verse in the Skanda Purana. These are all the manifestation, the Vaikuntha planets. If we go there, you do not see the mode of passion and ignorance. Everyone are always engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we go to the Bhakti Vedanta Mana, as soon as you enter there, everyone are engaged in some way or other for the pleasure of the deities. You do not see it. And also Sura Asura Achitaha. So devotees are also there, and also non-devotees who are not engaged themselves completely. They're also coming and then agreeing and then worship there and then go there. They do not make any disturbances. And also within one's body also, all kinds of the senses, they're just like a very calm down. If we are going with the material world, as soon as we see something, I wanted to enjoy this, I wanted to eat this one, I wanted to touch this one. These are different kinds of sense perceptions we living entity get agitated by. But here in the temples, as soon as you go there and then you enter into the Vaikuntha, you hear Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. As soon as you hear that sound, immediately two hands will be folded and entering into the temple. That is the nature. So all the senses will calm down, very peaceful. There is no agitation of ignorance and passion, no agitation of the senses. So the mode of ignorance influence a living entity to the habit of lust and hankering. This is Brahmabhutah Prasannatma Nasochati Nakankshati. No hankerings. And this means Vaikuntha Lokas, the living entity, is free from these two things. That is the Brahmabhuta stage, no hankering and no lamentation. And people are in the Vaikuntha planets. Vasantyatra Purushaha Sarve Vaikuntha Muttayaha Ye Animitta Nimittena Dharmena Aradayan Harim. Always situated in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. वैमानिकाः सल्ललनचरितानि शश्वत् गायन्ति यत्र समलक्षपणानि भट्टुः अन्तर्जलि अनुविकसत् मधुमाधवीनां गन्धेन कण्डितधियोऽपि अनिलं क्षिपन्तः. So they're always glorifying with their the devotees of the Lord with along with their concerts going in the airplanes and singing the glories of the Lord. And even they condemn the very fragrant smell coming from the malati flowers. Antarjali anuvisat madhumadhavinam gandhena kandita diopi anilam shipantaha. Because that smell is going to disturb their singing of the glories of the Lord. So that's why they condemn those beautiful fragrances. So that is again, this is the nature of the Vaikuntha planet. Okay, so that with that one, we stop here and then we shall continue that one tomorrow. We are at 7 o'clock. Time for the Damodarastakam. So today our Damodarastakam by singing by Prabhavati, Her Grace Prabhavati Sachi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Devotees, kindly turn on the videos if you are doing the ghee lamp offerings to the Damodara. Please, Hare. When you are ready, Mataji, kindly start.
Hare Krishna. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भ्रजमानम् यशोदाभियुलोकनादवमानम् परामृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्य गोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं व्रजन्तम् कराम्बोजयुग्मेन शातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठा स्थितग्रैव्यं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम् इति दृक्ष्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तर्जितत्वम् पुनः प्रेम तत्संशतावृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षं वदिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वर्षादपेह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य वीरस्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुकाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलम् वृथं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तश्च गोप्या मोहश्चम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरान्मे मनस्य विरस्तामालं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देवदामोदरनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदिनं बतानो गृहणे क्षमामध्यमेध्यक्षदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमुतैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्तेऽस्तु नाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमोऽनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमोऽनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर श्री राधे जय यशोदा दामोदर यशोदा दामोदर श्री राधे श्री दामोदर अष्टकम की जय कार्तिक
Jai.
जय हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
I'll read the translation, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose sharp-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Goloka, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from his wing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with the greatest speed to that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with three lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this he is drowning the inhabitants of Goloka in pools of ecstasy, and in revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with the intimacy and is free from all conception of awe and reverences. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benediction, I do not pay to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boons which may be obtained by executing the nine processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Balagopala in Vrindavan may even be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boons? Besides this, O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master of, O my Lord. Be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodara, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvara were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with the rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgence robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly your bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully sung. Okay. Damodarashtakam ki jai. Okay, so that is from Damodarashtakam, and thank you so much, Dinasreshta Mataji and Asha Mataji and Jehnu Kanya Mataji for turning on the videos when you are doing ghee lamp offerings to the Lord. Thank you so much. Okay, so shall we move on to the Srila Prabhupada's daily letter? And today letter to his Saranji is a small letter. I shall read it and I request other devotee to take it and for next letter. My dear Hit Saranji, please accept my blessings. I have not heard from you in some time. I hope you are doing well. I'm anxious to know what happened to the other two pairs of deities. These two pairs of deities are immediately required for Paris and Berlin. So I will be very much pleased if you dispatch them immediately to Chindia's team navigation company, as you did last time. Kindly treat this as urgent and let me know what is the situation. So this is about the inquiries about the deities. Uh, okay, so we shall move to the next letter. Letter to Bal Mukunji, May 30, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request, is Radha Sevaka Mataji available? Okay, if
Hare
not,
Krishna Prabhu, yeah, I can read.
yes, would you like to read this letter, Mataji, please?
Yeah. My dear Balmukunji, please accept my blessings. I'm in due receipt of your letter dated the 6th instant and noted the contents. In my last letter, I advised you that your Devangri Lipti class should begin by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. But if you find the time is short, then instead of reciting the Guru mantra quoted by you, which is of impersonal, mature, you can chant the following verse, which we do along with others. साक्षाद्धेरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैर् उक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव सद्भिः किन्तु प्रभूय प्रियेव तस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणवृन्दम्. The verse quoted by you is not approved by us. Regarding your inquiry about Aurobindo, I may inform you that Aurobindo does not belong to the Bhakti school. He is more or less a dry philosopher, mental speculator with some mystic ideas. We are simply concerned with pure devotees, so we have nothing to learn from Aurobindo. One practical estimation of Aurobindo. I know that one of the important disciples of Aurobindo, Dilip Roy, tried his best to induce one English devotee, Professor Nixon, later on Krishna Prem Ma, to become a disciple of Aurobindo. But Krishna Prem never agreed to this. On the contrary, Dilip Roy later on became influenced by Krishna Prem and he left Aurobindo ashram and is now chanting Hare Krishna mantra at Pune. So you can judge yourself what is my estimation of Aurobindo. So your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada ki jai. Thank
Jai.
you, Mataji. Can you take away points, Mataji, in this letter?
I think the main one is that the Hare Krishna movement is only for pure devotees, or at least people that are trying to endeavor to become a pure devotee of the Lord. And therefore, all these other things, they it kind of irrelevant. Yeah, so it's just bhakti. That's all, nothing else. We shouldn't like this. I don't know who Aurobindo is, but maybe he has some. He was like he was of a different school. And bhakti is to do with the love of Godhead. So I think Srila Prabhupada is trying to give the highest. He's trying to give the highest to he, and then obviously by giving the highest, there's only room, there's only room to love Krishna. There's the other things don't really matter. I think that's what he's trying to say, and that some people also become influenced by other I'm assuming that Aurobindo is another type of guru. But then eventually, even all of those things, people can't be satisfied with them, and then they will, whichever way you go down the path, you eventually end up on the bhakti path anyway. So you might as well just start on the bhakti path and finish on the bhakti path and do the journey on the bhakti path, because that's like, it's going to save you time and yeah, I think that's what he's trying to say. I don't know. And Srila Prabhupada doesn't like he doesn't like people being given the wrong thing, and he's very specific on that, because already people are misled already so much, and then they listen to this and they listen to that and they listen to something else, and when he's just giving the main thing, but it's much harder to follow. But if you just follow it, then that's going to get you to the place you need to be. And it's not an easy path by any means, but it's still the path that is going to help us to get that love of Godhead for Krishna. Oh yeah. I think, Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji. My internet is not stable.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's all I understood from it.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing. Any other thoughts, devotees? You wanted to add any more comments to this letter? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter, and the other day Prabhupada was also mentioning to Satswarup as well, saying that we do not accept anything like which is of impersonal nature. Any prayers are written by impersonal nature, we do not accept. Brahmano hi pristaham amrutasya avyasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya aikantikasya cha. This is the Brahma Jyoti, or the effulgent, the light coming from Krishna's body. So for that, what Krishna is the basis. Brahmano hi pratistaham. It is also depending on me. The Krishna says directly. Vadani tattat vidisattvam yajnanamadbhayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabjate. Bhagavan is the basis for the Brahma Jyoti and also Paramatma. Paramatma is also so amshamsha vibhavaha. He is also one of the expansion of Krishna. So that he is the Kshirodak Sai Vishnu. So here, this is the nature. There is a hierarchy, but impersonal nature, it is just only addressing there is a Brahma Jyoti, that's all, and there is nothing else beyond it. So and because of that, people can speak so many nonsensible uh, philosophies, speculators. There is no one combined or one, but they do not agree to one particular thing. Different speculators will come. Whatever they want, they can speak on the impersonal nature. Okay, so that is my understanding from this one as well. So, but bhakti means it is only yo yogo bhagavad bhanu. Yo yogo bhagavad bhanu. Nirvana atman tvayoditaha. Only arrow of devotion towards only Krishna only. Bhagavad bhana. Bhana is the arrow towards Krishna only through devotional service with love and devotion. Okay, so that is from this letter. Okay, and any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, and from the updates perspective, so today, Thursday evening, we have got Krishna book reading by Shyam Gudiwad Prabhuji and Ram Nasiku Prabhuji at 8 p.m. That's all from update side from me. And coming Saturday is the Bhagavad Gita session at 7 p.m.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Palla Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think very nicely you have explained, and Radha Savika Mataji. Thank you. And one quick thing I'd like to mention here. I think Radha Savika Mataji was telling something about Rishi Aurobindo.
Yes.
So yeah, the Rishi Aurobindo's contribution for the Indian, the freedom fight as well as the spiritual development has
Yeah.
been really immense. So he was a scholar from his childhood. His father actually was a sergeant, so he was very close to the British people that time when the British Empire was ruling India, and when we are under British Empire. So he has been studied actually in even London, and then he went to Cambridge College with distinctions. So schooling, college, everything there. Then he joined the civil service from there. He and his elder brother both. And after when he was working in the civil service with English, people here, and then he realized that time the India freedom fight. So he, his actual cry for India woke up, and he said, I need it to be there in India rather than working for British. So then he woke up, he went to India, moved back to India. But when he moved back to India, he actually went to Gujarat. There was a king there in Gujarat. Exactly, I can't remember where it is. I think probably Badodara. So here, he went there as an English teacher in the college English professor later. And then he became, I think, principal or vice principal over there. And there's been many stories how he helped the people there in Gujarat during this in British time. He woke up. He joined National Congress later, and he wrote many publications, and like many some of the very famous journal that time to woke up all Indian people to give the consciousness to them. For that time, he was mostly into the freedom fight and giving the knowledge of how freedom is um, relevant and how it is required, to take away from the British. And some of the publication was so deep and so much penetrating, the British Empire, they got really agitated. You know, Later he got arrested also because of the bombing incident in Calcutta. So I think the bombing incident he wasn't involved, but because of his uh, influence, people got agitated. His brother was involved though, but later he got discharged also from the British Empire. So when he was being arrested by the British people, he was in the prison. So during his prison time, he came across with Bhagavad Gita and all. So he wasn't basically he didn't know the Indian language earlier. So when he moved back to India, if you remember, after pass out from the Cambridge College, working there in civil service, then he started learning all this. He started learning Sanskrit. So during his stay in Gujarat, he learned all this Sanskrit and all. He started, doing a little bit of yoga and started learning all scriptures gradually. And in his prison time, he read Bhagavad Gita and he started doing yoga practice and all. And then people says his autobiography, the Divine India. I exactly can't remember the name of the book, but he published many books, and then he moved to renunciation mode gradually. So there from he, I think people mention, who were contemporary around that time, he saw Lord Krishna as well during his chanting and, this prison period. Later he, when he got discharged, so his discharge is also very dramatic discharge. There's people fighting for his discharge because he wasn't actually culprit for the bombing. After he came back, he started again, with his spiritual consciousness, he started giving. So he read all four Vedas, and then he invented, I could say, like integral yoga. So how the yoga and the consciousness can be developed and how it can be pursued. And then you can go into the spiritual mode. And he came to one of the French lady, forgot her full name, but in India she is very famous as Sima. So Sima came in touch. Sima had been in touch with many other gurus in India during his time, and she was very influential, people in the France and in the Europe region. So she went to India. She get chance to meet him and learn something from him about the yoga and the Indian spiritual aspect. Later, after probably a few years, and then she joined, and they opened ashram in Pondicherry. It's a very famous ashram in Pondicherry, actually. So yeah, and there are several books wrote by him and for the Indian spiritual consciousness. So he has basically,
Yeah.
spread the Sanatani practice in the Vedas, integral yoga, and all these things. So which is immense contributions, involving people, giving the glance of knowledge, so making people ready for next level of spiritual consciousness to accept next generation gurus. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much,
That's
Prabhuji,
all.
for giving some information about it. So in our society,
Welcome.
everyone has got a different positions. So there is a personalist or there, impersonalist is there. Everything is going on by a proper plan arrangement. It is the Sanatanathvam Purusham Matomi. So this Shashwata Dharma Gopta, under the divine protection of Krishna, Arjuna in his prayers, he mentions everything is going on. There is a personalist, there is impersonalist, or there are so many other levels of consciousness, or there are fake gurus and fake gods as well. It is for the based on the people who are expecting such kind of people, the gurus and people impersonalists, they will come and put them under one particular category. There is a dog society, cat society, impersonalist society, different societies. But out of all these things, the bhaktis, devotees who are beyond this transcendental nature, they know only one point of objective. So it is for different societies are there. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So he is also trying to enlighten some of in his caliber to spread India's divine nature and but anything on the freedom fighting and these are all nothing to do with the spirituality and the bhakti is bhakti school. It is only devotion to Krishna only, nothing, no other deviations. But he did this in his caliber, try to give and enlighten spiritual enlightenment for the similar kind of people. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay, so that is from the updates and sharings perspective.
Most welcome, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, so if you're all happy, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay, and also remember that Krishna consciousness means there is no beyond it. So, napasyami param bhutam akattuhu samadarshanath adogdhad adogdho dharmamatmanaha. He is the topmost transcendentalist. There is no one equivalent to him. So again, stressing that point. All the Shastras, scriptures, Krishna, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, whatever the scripture we see, Krishna devotee is the topmost. Okay, so that you can based on that we conclude that one. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya eva cha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna conscious day everyone. Hare Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर